Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here. It's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, it's real estate market statistics time. These real estate statistics are for the Dayton Metro area for September 2024. Now you might be asking if you have this report or you saw me flash them just then. You might be asking yourself, Self, the report says August. Why is he calling these the September numbers? Well, I call them the September numbers because otherwise people think that they're a month old. So these are the most recent stats that we have. I'm not able to get them until about the fifth or sixth day into the new months. The thing about these statistics is we compute them for the entire month. Week to week or day to day is way too short of an interval. And there's a lot of shifts and differences. Like literally, if you have like a stretch of 3 or 4 really rainy days, that is going to put a damper on the number of homes sold and all that stuff if you're looking at day to day or week to week. So we look at month to month because it's a long enough time period and everything kind of evens out enough. So I'm not comparing month to month. So I'm not comparing August to July per se. The reason why is the year has a natural ebb and flow of some months naturally just have more home sales, some have less. So, for example, whenever school's starting up, which is kind of what happens in August and September, whenever school's starting up, the number of homes sold compared to June and July are naturally lower. Just there's fewer people interested in buying a home at that time. People are settling down and getting used to new routine. Same thing with the wintertime. December has a lot fewer sales than the summertime. So what we do is we compare August 2023 to August 2024. So that kind of tells us what's happened in the last year. The good news is that real estate doesn't move usually so fast that is too long of a time frame. We did have a stretch, which you might remember, 2020, 2021, and 2022, where things were moving extremely fast. And during that time, I was looking at things from week to week and month to month and keeping an eye out on all of the offers that were being made and what our success levels were. But things have calmed down considerably since then, which is good news, especially if we're looking to purchase a house. We're still not in buyer's market territory by any stretch of the imagination. And, whenever we'll go over these notes, I'll be sure to make note of that. But it's still, there's a lot more houses to choose from than there were a couple years ago. The other thing to know here is if you don't want to sit through this whole long 20, 30, 40-minute video, I do make a much shorter 2-minute market update. And, if you just want to keep kind of the pulse on what's happening, where the numbers are at, you can watch that. But if you're looking to deep dive into what's going on in the real estate market, this full market statistics report video is definitely what you need. Now, if you would like your own copy of these numbers in this beautiful market report that I generate each and every month, there is a link down below that will take you to the website, and there you can sign up whenever these videos and reports are released. You will get notified of that. And then also there is this full report you can download at the website. So you can follow along or, tuck them in a notebook or, frame them and hang them on the wall if you want to. So feel free to go there and sign up for the stats newsletter, and you'll receive that notification as soon as these become available. So let's dive into these numbers for the Dayton metro area. So this area covers from roughly Piqua all the way down to Springboro, and then West Alexandria to Xenia. That is generally the area that this information covers. I have tried to exclude a lot of the overlap with Cincinnati, so this doesn't include like Hamilton or Monroe or places like that. I tried to keep it a little bit more up into the Dayton metro area. If you're interested in those numbers though, for parts further south, please let me know. I might have to expand this into a Cincinnati video. Total number of closed sales in the Dayton metro area was down 4% from 1,259 homes in August 2023 to 1,209 homes in August 2024. Median sales price rose 3% from 233,000 to 240,000. Median percent of original list price. So this one had been holding at 100% for a while, right? So basically whatever the asking price was, that is what the house sold for. But we've actually gone down a little bit last month. So that's actually down 1.4% from 100% to 98.6% in 12 months. Median time to sale has gone up 12.2% from 41 days to 46 days. So the median point of homes that are selling have lengthened about 46 days. Now, we need to kind of work backwards a little bit because that's a little deceptive. So median time to sale, what that is that is when the house, how many days until it's listed until it closes. That is the median time to sale. Personally, I prefer the median time to contract, which is how long is a house actively on the market before going under contract. But unfortunately, I'm not able to retrieve those numbers. Just we don't track contracts really. Shit, I wish we did. It would make things a little easier. So we kind of work backwards from these a little bit. So basically, most contracts are 30 to 40 days. So we can see that median time to contract currently is 16 to 2 or 3 days, depending upon which one of those numbers you would want to do. Technically, I'd probably do, if you wanted me to put a number on it, I would say 35 days. So that put it at 41 days, and then minus 30 would be 11. So about 10 to 11 days time to contract is the median point. Could be a little less, could be a little bit more. Honestly, that lines up with what I'm seeing so far as just typically how long listings hang around. And obviously that shifts a little bit depending upon the price point. $1 million house is going to hang around a little bit longer than, like a $250,000 house. So it's just the buyer pool is smaller for the $1 million house. Total number of new listings went down a little bit, dropped 2.3% to 1,508 homes. And active inventory went up 22.2% from 1,351 to 1,651 homes. And then the doom and gloom section, which is foreclosures, bank-owned properties, that dropped 45% from 20 to 11. And short sales increased an infinite amount from 0 to 1. Now, I do like to dive into the different price points because, like I mentioned, $1 million house sells for a little bit different time frame than a $200,000 house. Before we get to that, though, I do want to point out, so I don't usually cover month-to-month stuff, but I do like to cover like high points and stuff like that. We did actually set a new record median sales price in June 2024 of this year, $255,000. That is the highest median sales price that the Dayton Metro has ever had. That early summertime is usually where the peak comes. Sometimes it's June, July, sometimes it's July, August. This year it looks like it's June, July. And, prices have kind of come off of that a little bit if we're looking at month to month. The thing to know about that is that it's not necessarily that prices are going down. It's usually that the type of house has changed a little bit, that is selling, because these statistics only get counted if the home actually sells. I do like to kind of mention the median percentage of original list price received, just because it had been holding at 100%. So basically April to July, median percentage of original list price received was 100% across the board. And then August, we have dropped down 1.4% to 98.6%. Now, so far as the different price points, we'll do the median time to sale. So this is from the time the house is listed until it actually closes. What does that look like so far as number of days? So 150 to 200,000 was sitting at 43 days. That's up 16.2%. 250 to 300,000 is down 2.3% to 42 days. 300 to 400,000 is up 9.3% to 47 days. 400 to 600 is up 6.4% to 50 days, and 600 to a million is down 13.7% to 44. Now, the thing to remember with this is we do need to deduct how long that contract takes to reach my preferred metric, which is time to contract. I usually do about 35 days. So you can see that everything's hanging around for, 1, maybe 2 weeks, which is very much seller's market territory. There's some other markets that I'm active in. So I'm also licensed in Florida. So like Tampa, St. Pete, the median time to contract down there is 45 days. So that is more neutral market territory. And starting to get up into seller's market territory, as you get higher into the 50s and stuff. In the Dayton Metro, it is very much a seller's market. The good news, though, is that there are more homes to choose from, and sellers are still pretty negotiable on getting items repaired and, some concessions and stuff like that. Now, total number of closed sales by price. 100 to 150,000, there was a total of 104 homes sold in August, which was a decrease of 31.6%. So that's almost a third lower. 150 to 200,000, there was a total of 221 homes sold, which was down 5.2%, 221. 200 to 250,000 was up 14.1% to 202. 250 to 300,000 was down 30.2% to 125. 300 to 400,000 was up 4.5% to 234. 400 to $600,000 homes, a total of 156 sold, which was an increase of 20%. And 600 to a million was up 32.4%, total of 45 homes sold. So you can see that from that, basically that under 200,000 mark, there's fewer homes being sold and there's more homes being sold above that price point. A lot of that's just because homes have slid up into higher price categories. So I'm sure it gets monotonous listening to me rattle off all these numbers, so I usually cut this one short. I do like to touch on if there's any outliers or anything. So the number of 600,000 to 1 million homes, the number of new listings increased 31.6% compared to August 2023, total of 75. Everything else held pretty steady though. So like 250 to 300,000, there was 173 new listings, which technically a decrease of 2.3%. But whenever you have anything in like the 5% or less shift, I consider that as, it basically held steady. 300 to 400,000 was up 2.4% to 255. 150 to 200,000 was only a 1% increase, 305. 200 to 250 had a pretty good jump though. It was up 11.4% to 225. So if you're looking for something in that price category, there's a good chunk more of those to look at this year compared to last year. And if we're looking at total inventory, so this is on the last day of the month, what is the breakdown of all the price categories? Like how many homes are actively for sale that you could buy at each of these price points? So 50 to 100,000, you had 33.8% less homes to choose from, total of 90. 100 to 150,000 was 23.5% more at 189. 150 to 200,000 was up 64.1% to 33. 200 to 250,000 was up 39.2% to 172. 250 to 300,000 was up 14.3% to 192. 300 to 400,000 is up 42.7% to 284. 400 to 600,000 was up 17.8% to 258. And 600 to a million was up 46.1% to 168. So there's almost twice as many homes in that 600 to 1 million price point compared to August 2023. So those are the real estate statistics for the Dayton Metro area. Now, if you remember back to your math class, you might remember mean, median, and mode. Mean is another name for average, so we'll just call it average and median. So with an average, you basically would take, let's say, if 5 houses sold, you would add up the price that those 5 houses sold for, and then divide it by 5, that would give you the average. The median is a little different though. The median price is the point at which there is an equal number of homes for sale at a higher price as at a lower price. So it's more of the actual midpoint of the market for the homes that have sold. Personally, I prefer the median home price more because it removes a lot of the whiplash that can be caused by a large number or even a small number of very expensive or very inexpensive houses selling. And this is especially true as the number of closed sales goes down. The median home price tends to start to swing a little bit more than usual just because the sample set is smaller. So like if you're selling like 1,000 homes a month, the median home price is going to tend to move a little bit more than it did when there was 3,000 homes for sale. It's going to move a little bit more than when there was 2,000 homes that sold in that month. So it's just because the data set is a little bigger. So what exactly can we make of these numbers? Why are we selling fewer homes, but median sales prices going up? And a lot of that just comes down to a quirk of these numbers, which is that a lot of these numbers only get counted when something actually sells. The main catch here, though, is there's not a lot of houses for sale. We're selling 1,209 homes, and we're listing 1,508 homes. So yeah, we built a little bit of inventory, but that's not a crazy amount. The total number of inventory, that 1,651 homes that were for sale at the end of the month, that is literally like 1 month of supply. So there's another metric that I don't talk too much about. It's called month supply. And basically the thinking is like, if no new homes get listed, how long will the current inventory last at the current rate of demand? And so we're roughly at like, 1.3 months of supply. And that is super short. That is very much seller's market territory. And that usually means that prices are going up or likely to continue to go up. Now, what usually happens is things obviously slows down as we're getting into the wintertime. And, there's enough things to look from, and things get quiet enough that we can usually negotiate a little bit better prices on purchases in the wintertime. But it's not going to be crazy. And with the way these numbers are shaping up, there's nothing to indicate that there's any significant downturn coming anytime soon. Um, the primary mover here is going to be that median time to sale. That number needs to climb significantly before we will start to see inventory significantly climb. And a lot of the important stuff about real estate statistics is perspective. So these numbers look kind of bad compared to the slower and the sky is falling kind of stuff compared to the craziness that was 2021 and 2022 in the real estate market. But compared to the market in general, like if you compare it to like 10 years ago, like there was 6 or 7,000 homes for sale back then at any given point in time. And there's currently 1,651 homes sold. So just the number of homes available are so low that there's not much else for prices to do than to go up. And again, that's not going to change until that median time to sell number starts going up. That's going to be our leading indicator. It's not necessarily bad news if you're looking to buy, because if you buy a house like this month, you know that the house is going to continue to go up for a while with what I'm seeing in the stats here. It is much worse to try to buy a house in a declining market, even though everyone thinks that's great. It really stinks to buy a house and have it be worth, $15,000 less 3 months after you buy it. Like, not a good feeling. The good news is, like, if you're looking to buy, there are more homes for sale than there have been, and I'm seeing a lot more renovated homes, which is great. And I know a lot of people talk smack about flips, but by and large, flips are usually done pretty well. I have seen some pretty bad ones, but it's pretty obvious. One that pops to mind is we literally went in the basement and they'd put up 4x4 posts, which I don't believe are supposed to be like house structured, and they were literally, instead of being bolted into brackets into the foundation or this, somehow anchored, they were literally just sitting on sideways 4x4s, and they had, houses move, people. And so these support posts had basically shimmied themselves halfway off the support foundation, which was literally a 4x4 block that you could kick out if you weren't walking where you're watching. So there are bad flips out there, but they're usually pretty easily detected. So if you're looking to buy, there's a lot more renovated homes to choose from, especially. I have been seeing more of those in the Dayton market, which is good to see. Shows that money is flowing into the area and things are improving. And if you were thinking about selling, it's a great time to sell as well, because, like I said, we are still very close to peak home prices. And that again, that's not likely to change. So it usually takes a month or two to get a house prepped and up for sale. And in that time, home prices are not going to move against you too hard. And yes, people still buy houses during the holidays. I promise you, I've sold a bunch of houses through the holidays. But yeah, not any crazy changes compared to previous months in these Dayton market statistics. Basically, home prices are going up. There's not a lot of houses to choose from. I've been running into multiple offers the last couple months. That is the part that will probably calm down over the next couple months here as we get into the fall and holidays. A lot of good options out there. So thank you so much for watching these Dayton Metro real estate statistics for September 2024. My name is Kyle Sasser with Ashley Home Team. If you are looking for your own great place in the Dayton Metro area, and if you're interested in seeing and experiencing the way that real estate should be, trademark, the best first step is usually to book a chat at the time that works best for you. And so there should be a link in the description or the comments down below. Follow that link. It'll take you to our calendar. It'll show you what's available, whatever time or afternoon or evening works for you. Book it. We'll have a call and I'll explain the process and answer any questions that you have. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.